What's up, guys? Fast Eddie was fast today. He had the
Which time?
Just let it go.
Which time was he fast?
well, not the first time because he failed, but he redeemed himself. He went home real fast and came out with a barbecue.
Yeah. We had plenty of coleslaw. Ain't no doubt about that.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News. If you've seen mine and Jack's little funny video earlier, we promoted Fast Eddie's barbecue.
Yeah, sure did.
Pretty fast. Jimmy's already got it.
I was got to thank Eddie for bringing us some barbecue today. Let's thank our marketing partners. Have they done the
No, it's in October.
October? So help our buddy Roy out in Bowman Gray Stadium. There's a picture. I think most people that have been around the sport for a while know Roy. And then coming up this week, right?
This Friday.
Is the Dave Millard 4th annual golf tournament. We'll help those guys out. There's still some whole sponsors available and teams, I'm sure. I think I seen Jordan post the other day. I think SNN Communications. We'll see how nice our hotel room is when we get to Charlotte.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be okay because I ain't going to say. Never mind.
Fast Eddie's barbecue. He is a man of his word.
Yeah,
He brought the barbecue, and
well, see what threw him off is what threw Eddie off was he sent me the message earlier today about about the coleslaw, and I told him. He said, "I don't think Scott likes coleslaw." I said, "Well, I do."
Well, you don't count.
And then,
Go ahead.
so he comes with 2 coleslaws. I think he was trying to cut you out, but he forgot the wrong.
And order your Papa John's pizza online and get 25% off with Dotson 25. RDS Performance. Got to thank Mean Dean Automotive with Grier and Associates, and they are in Moyock, North Carolina. I think Sammy Gata's made some few things for us and made some stuff for me for Dallas Imports, and I appreciate Sammy. Southampton Motor Speedway. Mosquito Joe's, get 50% off on your first month of service with Mosquito Joe's on this side of the water. It does not cover Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth.
We got to get Robert Rumbles back on the show again because he's a whole lot of fun. When he's on. We got to get him back on the show again.
Hey, can we forget about the part that I ignored him all night?
No, I thought that was hilarious.
Got to thank Pepsi and Mountain Dew, Mountain Jack's drink of choice, Walter Pressure Wash and Solution, Turn 2 Synthetics, Safety Clean, and Performance Plus Motor Oil. I thank Langley Speedway, Chuck Hall, Bill Mullis, Terry for allowing us to do the show from here, Bondards Brothers Distillery, MPM Marketing, Black Acid Racing Apparel. Maybe one day we'll get the other fire suit. I know Chris got his. Slinger Speed Company. Hit up Tim Brown if you want a local t-shirt company to do your t-shirts. Factory Canopy and Fluid Logic. One day we'll get Todd Day. Well, we've had him on before.
Yeah, and I talked to him the other day.
Oh, really?
I talked to him the other day. I said, "Look, once you go on the show Tuesday night?" He said, "I can't." I said, "Why?" He says, "I'll be coming back from California. I'm going to a golf tournament in California."
He's living the life.
So, I mean, when does he work?
I know, right? VA 811, call before you dig. And GAC, Great American Company, and Garamo Amaya. Appreciate Garamo's been been part of the program for a long time. Eddie said he fumbled the ball.
But make a great recovery.
Yeah. And we got a great story from here on out for a while.
Yeah.
Until he screws up again. Or we screw up. One of the two.
We'll see. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him. Like you,
Well, I mean,
like you.
I already got the barbecue right now. We worry about later.
Low beer pressure.
All right, the news for this past weekend, Kyle Larson got the win in the Cup Series.
Hey, and when you break a record at Hendrick Motorsports of leading the most laps of any race, Hendrick driver,
You done something.
That's a big deal.
I mean, I didn't think it could be done. I didn't realize that nobody.
At one point, I was wondering if there's anybody else in the race.
He's probably wondering that too.
In the Xfinity race, Cole Custer got the win. That was he played around and finally got the win there. That was a pretty big deal. The Truck Series had a non-playoff winner for the second straight week. Lane Riggs won both times, last week and this week.
I tell you what, Lane is coming to his own. I mean,
He's unbelievable. And in the ARCA race, William Sawalich beat Connor Zilich. Zilich had a little accident in that race, and he didn't get the ARCA title. Sawalich got the title, so they cooled him down just a little bit. So anyway,
okay.
not a whole lot racing. I mean, around here, everybody else is kind of shut down now. Nobody's doing a whole lot of racing. At Orange County, they had 2 late model races on championship night. Max Reeves won the first race, and he was his crew chief was Bobby Labonte.
Oh, really?
He knows a thing or two.
And in the second race, Grant Davidson. Charlie Beals went down to Dillon and won the race down at Dillon this past weekend. I think both of the girl works the ticket booth. What's her name?
Casey?
No.
Jen.
You got the two guys racing.
Oh, Lori.
Yeah.
Lori Morgan.
All right. Both Morgans went down to Dillon this past weekend.
Okay.
Race. I did not find out where they finished.
You couldn't reach out to them?
I tried. Don't start.
Starting early today.
Nobody called it.
Down in Franklin County, they had the Star Superstock Series down there, and Avi Olvet won. Don't ask me. That's his name, Avi Olvet.
Yeah. Okay.
Congrats.
Some other news that took place this week. Dawson Sutton has taken over the Rackley truck.
That was a surprise.
And Dylan will.
I mean, I will say Dylan has outran what Matt D did in the truck.
Mm-hmm. But they did the same thing to Matt D last year. Got down to this part of the season and they changed drivers.
Well, that is true.
So we'll see how this one works. But Ty Dillon's already got a ride for next year, so he's just hanging in there right now. He's going to be the driver coach for the rest of the year for Rackley. So anyway, Mike Harmon today bought the points from the 33 RCR car, Xfinity car. He bought their points, so he'll have points for the rest of the season.
Oh,
You buy points.
You buy the number.
everything's got a price, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not the same thing.
It was announced today that Connor Hall is the 2024 national champion for the late model series across the country, or whatever they call it now. But
Back to back. Has anybody done that before?
yeah, they've done it before, but kind of interesting. Connor here done it back to back. That's running two series.
Yeah, you can Cars Tour too.
And I mean, what else was he leading the points
He's
in?
leading the point. He's leading the car.
Cars Tour points, yeah.
Yeah, but how much? I mean, I know it's tight. It got tight.
It's 1 or 2 points.
2 or 3, yeah.
Butterbean.
With 2 races left, I think.
Yeah.
Aiden Zedra says he'll be here in October for his last race. So
See you then, buddy.
Riley Neal was named the Division I Rookie of the Year today. He's the one that came here and drove Mark Wert's car for points.
Mhm.
I think he drove somebody else's car the night before to get points. And,
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, but today he was named the Division I Rookie of the Year. We'll have him on the show here in a few minutes. Big news out of since our last show came out of College Racing has hired Ty Norris as one of their executives on that. That's pretty interesting how that
It is. I mean, because I thought that's what Chris Rice is doing.
Oh, no, Chris Bryce is the president.
Okay.
He's the president of College.
I mean, if you ever met Chris, he's not who you would think you would want to make president. But Chris has been in this business a long time and has obviously done very well. Chris is a character.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, so he Ty Norris is over there. I mean, Ty's been around for a long time.
A lot of
I
teams.
mean, yeah, and everything he's gone to is he's turned around, built it, and it's been
So
successful.
he
Or
was
it's on that uptick anyway.
yeah, he was with Michael Waltrip when they first started out at
DEI.
DEI. That's pretty wild. Also, I don't know if we mentioned this last week. I think it happened after our show last week. I'm not really sure. Corey LaJoy and Justin Haley are switching teams.
Did you get? I mean, we had heard some other things that were going to happen, but did you see the interview with Brad Kalowski?
Yep.
So it certainly sounds like Haley is going to Hendrick Motorsports, not 2025, but 2026.
Looks like it may be that way.
I mean, we heard it was happening next year.
No, they have the next year.
Not next year.
They couldn't work it out, And Harrison Burton has got a new ride in the AM Racing Ford for AM Racing and leaving the Wood Brothers and been replaced already. So I think it's pretty good.
I'm a little surprised, to be honest, for that ride. It's not a top tier team that he's been used to running for, right?
My understanding and my understanding is that there's going to be a tremendous amount of help given to that AM Racing team this year.
Is it a Ford?
It's a Ford team, so they're going to get a tremendous amount of help.
Didn't Rajay run some races with them
At
a
one
couple
point,
years? Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Um,
And he had a great race in the truck race the other night.
Man, this year has been really good for him. I know we had talked to him a little bit. I know we don't really know, but it looks like he's going to be, it's very possible, there's nothing signed anything yet, that he's going to be there next year. They're just working on some stuff. It appears anyway.
Well, there's two scenarios I've heard are in play here. He could go back to Spire and drive their truck next year like he's doing this year. But there's also an outside thing saying Rick Hendrick is going to put him in the 17 full time in the Xfinity Series next year. That's another thing. They said we're working on sponsorships and stuff like that to see if they can pull that off. He won't. When I talked to him at Dover, he wouldn't say a whole lot about it. And then we saw him at Richmond, and he didn't say a whole lot about it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I asked, and he just said that they were working on some stuff that, it's kind of the vague answers that we always sort of get. But I mean, as we well know, in this business and in any business, until the contract is signed, it's not a done deal.
and you definitely.
And even then, sometimes we've learned that that's not the.
That's exactly right. You can sign a contract, but it don't mean a whole
So
lot.
they get in the car.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Brad Kalowski. He had to deal with Hendricks, right? And when Martin came along and he says, I'm not going to honor my truck, the cup deal with you. You're going to have to go find a ride. I'll help you. But Mark's in the car, and I want him to stay. So you don't ever know.
It's kind of interesting how that works out, though.
But I think Rajay will be okay. I think he's definitely he's doing well, and I think he's got some of the right people behind him that that I would take good advice from, and definitely being in sort of the GM camp and then the Hendrick Motorsports sort of camp.
He ran some races in the 17 this year, didn't he? Was
I
it
think he
one or two?
ran. Was it how many races did he run? I think it was just one,
He
wasn't it?
just won.
Maybe.
Or no, it was Phoenix last year. Wasn't it? Championship weekend.
The shout out.
Yeah, Adam, Brendan Queen done said hi.
What's up, man?
You wearing the shirt?
Did
You
he
wearing
pay
it?
you for that?
I bought the shirt, man. He's going to Kansas this weekend, man. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him.
Yeah.
Gonna go on the boards at Kansas.
But you know,
Representing.
That's right.
Brendan, if you're still listening, I think you ought to come see us again, Brendan. You know, we'd help get you to this point.
He's taking all the credit.
You need to come on the show. I mean, you know,
Maybe could have got a barbecue sandwich.
yeah, we
Yeah,
could
if he came today, you
Never
got
know.
the Fast Eddie's barbecue. Right?
Oh, and your
His
money's
money's
in
in
the
the
your money's in the mail.
I appreciate that, buddy.
He wore my shirt for about 3 damn weeks. He didn't even 1 week he wears your shirt every day. He gets paid for it.
Oh man.
I don't get that. Come on, Brendan.
I ordered your truck. I guess they're going to go out in December or January, something like that.
Brendan, if you can't come send your girlfriend, we'd rather have her anyway.
She's much better looking than he is.
Anyway, all right. I see we have our first guest
Oh, I didn't even-
already here.
I didn't see Mr. Modified
4-cylinders.
4-cylinder modified. I don't know what Dominator. I mean, I don't know what else you can.
I got a question for him when we get him on here.
What's up, Kevin? How you doing, man?
Well, how about you guys?
Well,
Good.
we're great. And congratulations on another championship. I mean, will you next year? Will you let them race a little bit too?
I let them race a little bit this year. I mean, we run 17 races and only won 14 of them. I was hoping for all 7.
I'm surprised they
I
hadn't
hadn't said that.
Hey, you know, I remember back when Eddie Johnson was dominating here, and they went over and they started putting lead on the car. They're like, "Hey, you're going to add 20 pounds, come back next week." And I'm surprised they ain't done something like that to you.
They've done it a couple years ago. I think we ended up having like 120 pounds on the car.
Extra than everybody else.
Yes.
Did it handle better?
I didn't like it, but I mean, we still won with it, so I can't complain.
you win with everything, man. I'll tell you what, you're pretty cool. I mean, I follow every week. I make sure to see where you were every week. And hey, you're a heck of a race car driver. I got to give you that.
We appreciate it.
So when we do our driver of the year, I guess you're going to be right up there at the top of the thing again with 14 out of 17. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, we had a real good year. That's about every year we've run down there, except for one. We didn't race for a championship last year, but we ran 8 races and won 8 races. But I told my wife this year I wanted to try to win all of them. We came real close in 18. We won 17 of 18. And I really wanted to do it this year. And then about halfway through the season, car kind of messed up on us, and we got it to a pull-down rig thanks to one of my buddies, and we got her figured out, and she was hell on wheels ever since.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. It amazes me how fast you are in those modified Fords. I mean, I don't think there's another guy in that division. I mean, I'm sure there's guys in the division that are pretty good, but I'm saying I don't think they can hang with you.
Well, after we took it and put it on the pull-down rig, we had the track record with that same car, the new car last year, was a 1637, and we put it on the pull-down rig, put 4 new tires on it, and turned to 1616. So,
Okay. Does anybody else in the class come to you for advice?
yeah. I have a couple friends down there. My dad, he doesn't really like to take my advice, even though I beat the crap out of him. Have me help him out, and then we got another buddy down there, Ryan Griffith. I helped him out a bunch this year, trying to get his lined out. He raced full season down there this year, and then Chuck Wall, he comes down every now and then to come play with us, and I help him out. He helps me out. We've become good friends with Chuck, and we're really thankful for them. And it's a team effort when it these things, and we've got the greatest team behind us.
Now, other than Kingsport and Lonesome Pine, where can you run Mod 4s at? I mean, because
I can run my tube car at KINGSPORT. I can run it at Lonesome Pine. I can run it at Motor Mile, and I can run it at Tri-County. We went to Tri-County earlier this year, and Chuck actually got us some tires because they run at Bowman Gray and all that stuff. They run the 800s there too, and he actually got me a set worked up to go down there, and we went down there and ended up qualifying third. We would have qualified second to the guys that were there, but they put 4 new soaked tires on, so we couldn't touch them. And then we got my little boy in the car. He loves to get in the car and play with the steering wheel, and I'm really bad about turning the power switch off. And he if he's over in the driver's door, he's usually playing with the radio antenna. Well, he flipped the fan on while I was spotting for a late model race, and we didn't get to race down there, but it would have been a good race down there. We really want to make it back. We'll probably try to get back before the end of the year's over. We got Martinsville this weekend. I'm going to spot up there, but we're definitely going to try to make it back to Martinsville. But now with my old car, I can run it just about anywhere. The Carolina mini stocks, I could take it to Bowman Gray, but they wild up there. They tear a lot of stuff up.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I agree with that. No, I just wondering because I'd love to see you come down here and running some races down this way, some because I think you would probably be the cream of the crop when you come here. But I think it'd be good for you to come and be here and race some of the races here. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I agree. We're just gonna take a trip down there, just finding the time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very much so. So when we go back and look at how many championships do you have?
13.
How many?
13.
13. Damn. 13 championships.
It's time to move on.
How many wins do you have?
Do what now?
How many wins do you have?
135.
Woo.
Catching you, Jack.
I'm telling you, he's right on my heels, isn't he?
He's 135 away.
Yeah, we got to experience driving a big car for the first time at KINGSPORT last race down there. A buddy of mine coming, he had his backup car there, and he said, "Do you want to drive it?" And I said, "Buddy, don't ask me that." I said, "I'll drive anything." And I'd planned on just starting at the rear. I've been in a big car once, a late model down there, and I just practiced it for a boy till he got there. But I asked him, I said, "Do you care if I take it out in qualifying?" Because they do a group qualifying. I was like, just to run it and get some laps under the belt. Well, heck, we qualified outside pole, almost got the pole with it. And then in the race, it's a lot different from my car. That thing has a lot more motor than what I've got, 4 more cylinders. So I couldn't quite – I'd get running with these people, and I'd overshoot the corner or get on the throttle too hard coming off because in ours, you can just hold it wide open coming off. It don't spin. It ain't got enough power to spin. And you really ain't got enough power down the straightaway to overdrive a corner. And that was our biggest fault. And then right at the end of the race, we got turned or we'd have finished 4th.
Dang.
Then the guy say, "Look, you're going to have to get out of my car."
When I got out, I told him, I said, "You're in the wrong car." I said, "You need to be driving this one."
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean,
Pretty bad.
you don't have a problem driving anything then.
No, not at all.
Well, now, are we going to look at maybe possibly doing something in next year and moving up some? Are you happy where you are?
Well, a lot of people say that class that I ran was probably just equivalent price-wise to what we spend in the year. But my biggest thing is I have everything that I need in my class. I don't have to go out and buy anything. To move up to that class, I'd have to go out and buy a car, buy a motor or 2 just to be on the safe side. And it's just I'm kind of stuck where I'm at right now, finance-wise. We just bought a house, and the little boy, he's already crazy about the cars, and so I'll be getting him goat carts and stuff here soon, and then bandoleros, and then I'll put him in mine.
Well,
Kevin's out.
well, there goes your career. You glad you got them 13 championships. So he'll come along, and that the money's going to be going out the door and in. That's for sure.
Hopefully he gets a better start than I did when I didn't get started till 2016 when my first year racing was. So hopefully we can get him in there and get him some sponsor money.
Yeah, tell me about it. Don't let him get too old now because them kids, when they get to 6 years old, they're getting old now. And then they're gonna have to come up with something else.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So your plan is to be back at KINGSPORT next year and try it again, and maybe some over at Lonesome Pine.
I don't know how much racing we'll do at the Pine. We only made it to 1 over there this year with the way our schedule worked out. But I don't know if I'll run KINGSPORT full time this year. I know word on the street, Motor Mile's supposed to be opening back up. And then you got Newport. Just depending on what rule package they go with, we'll definitely go run some at Newport. I'm hoping they go with the KINGSPORT package because you got about 12 cars that'll show up every week down there. But I heard there was some talk in the grapevine that they're going to go to the Carolina mini stock rules, which would make the tube cars obsolete to run down there. So on my old car, I could take it and run it and not have to do any weight or anything like that. But then you got to change intakes and stuff like that. So I'm hoping they kind of go with our rule. I know there'll be some Carolina guys come out of the Carolinas to run over there. But, I mean, most guys that are wanting the Carolina mini stock rules run Bowman Gray every weekend. So they're pushing hard for those rules, but they'll be at Bowman Gray every Saturday. They might make 1 or 2 races before the end of the season. The season starts, or 1 or 2 after the season ends. So, but yeah, I want to try to make it back to Motor Mile for a few races. We really don't know exactly what we're going to do, if we're going to run for a championship but once you get started racing, it's hard to not race for one. So
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know. And I mean, you've already got 13 of them, so I mean, that's pretty cool.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, who else sponsors your car and everything helps you out?
Quality Heat and Air, Catch 22, Big V Wampers Welding, A to Z Outdoor Services, Everything Outdoors, Amos Carvelli Funeral Homes, Motorman NDM Machine, they're bad to the bone, Precision Paintless Dent Repair, Texas Roadhouse of Bristol, Virginia, Chilhowie Fence Supply, our radio guy, Trackside Communications, Ricky Adams, Dean Grindstaff, Attorney at Law, Complete Plan.
I was going to say Quality Air or Quality Heat and Air is one of them because they said hello, Kevin.
Yeah.
The champ.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's one of the big ones that makes this car go around in circles, and we appreciate everything he does.
But don't we need a bigger car?
Car, that's what you need.
I mean, it just got to open the checkbook up. I mean, it's that easy.
We talked about it. He definitely wants to see me in one.
Well, I want to see you in one too, but I don't have the money to help you there too much there. But anyway, it'd be cool to see. Anyway, I hope sometime in next year, I didn't ever get to this year, but hope next year I can get to KINGSPORT and come down and watch you race, because I love the place and I want to come back down there and watch.
He's got a food sponsor, Jack, so it's probably.
I know. Hey, he's got the same. You and Chase Dixon both have Texas Roadhouse, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I can hang out with either one of y'all and I get something good to eat.
When the biscuits run out at one place, you can run over and get the rolls from the other.
That'd be cool, pretty cool. Well, Kevin, congratulations on being the champ again. And hey, man, I tell you what, you've done a heck of a job this year. And let them other guys play a little bit. Well, you're done for the year, though, right? You're not racing anymore this year?
No, well, I may go run a few or try to run 1 or 2 more at Tri-County if they have us on the schedule. But other than that, I'm going to Martinsville this weekend to do a little spotting, and that's about it.
Who you spotting for?
Blaine.
Who?
Blaine Harrison.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, cool. All right, well, Kevin, we appreciate you spending some time with us tonight, and I'll talk to you again real soon, and we'll talk again and talk about next year.
Okay, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
See you,
man.
man.
I appreciate it too.
Man, you may start racing in 2016
And have 135 wins and 13 championships.
That's not a bad way to go.
I mean,
my career didn't start like that. Did yours, Eddie? We know Jack's did.
I won practice a ton of times.
yeah, I won a couple practices, but I didn't win a race.
Checks didn't pay out.
No, they don't pay out then.
Those aren't on paper.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, he is one of the coolest guys. I mean, he was our driver of the year last year. So I mean, I really like him. I really like him. I mean, he gets in that Mod 4 and he's lights out on everybody. So that's really cool. Oh, I see a baby in the picture. There he is.
That's very good. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, well,
About 4 more years, he'll be in a go-kart. It'll be over. Kevin's career is done.
yeah. You better go and get him another championship next year.
It might be the last.
Enjoy every race, buddy.
Anyway, all right. I don't know who next one is. Riley. I think it's Riley is the next one coming on. So hopefully he'll be here in a few. But yeah, it's really cool to see Kevin. He's one of my favorite. Him and Cress from down at KINGSPORT. If I lived down there, I'd probably live at that racetrack because them guys are something else.
The king of concrete.
Yeah.
Concrete track, huh?
Yeah.
I've never been to KINGSPORT.
I know. I figured Kevin just need to put a piece of wood under the bottom of his pedal so he can't push it that hard and level the playing field or something.
Right.
I know that's what Chris did. He won't be using but half the throttle.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get a hold of Crest again because he said Buddy Isles driving for him this year at the end of this year.
Are they running Martinsville?
They are running
Both of them? Okay.
Well, he's not right.
Well, I know Chris is not, but they're taking Chris's car going. Okay.
Yeah. One to Martinsville. So
Have we seen an entry list for Martinsville yet?
yeah, and it's not like 70 names on the list that I've seen. So
I mean, I don't know if they'll ever go back to the time. I mean, I remember showing up at North Wilkesboro and there was like 130 late models. I mean, for a 30-car field.
wow. I remember the time I went up there. Travis Miller was.
Well, even Martinsville, I mean, they have 100 and something.
And they had over 100 cars there. I mean, they had like 20 cars in each heat race.
Yeah.
And the first 20 some were already in the race.
My very first late model race, I was working for Barry Strathman, and we started racing. Our first race was at Richmond International. And I don't know how many, Curtis Markham he had just signed that deal with that Skull Bandit Bush North deal. And they came and ran, and we
Was that still a half-mile Richmond?
No, it was 3/4 in. I think the Sawyers, it was funny because we went there earlier in February and practiced. Yeah. And my first experience there, I mean, I'm in awe about all of this stuff. And our crew chief, a guy named Junie Nelson, had been around forever. He passed away last year at 97, I think it was, a few days before his birthday, before his 98th birthday. And I see this guy walking down through the garage and see all these press people around him. And he goes, "Oh, hey, June, how you doing?" He walks on. I'm like, "Who the hell is that?" Like, he's like, "Oh, that's Paul." I'm like, "Okay, who's Paul?" "It's Paul Sawyer." I'm like, "Okay, who's Paul Sawyer?" "Well, he owns the racetrack." I'm like, "You know the guy that owns the damn racetrack?" He's like, "Yeah, we've been racing since the 50s." You know. Oh, Paul Sawyer. I mean, obviously, I knew who he was after that, but I didn't know who he was then. But man, I mean, all the late models that show up and trying to make the race. Although we did fairly well our first time there. I think we qualified 12th out of in the whatever 80, 90, 100 cars that were there. So we didn't have to do the heat races. So I think they took the top 20. Danny and Greg went. But of course, back then, I mean, hell, if you ran top 10, you did something back then instead of, I mean, we had 25 cars, but we had 20, 25 good cars every week here at Langley.
Well, we're waiting on Casey Roderick.
Oh, that's a shocker. He's fast as everything else, but now what is Casey doing now? Is he still doing the car rental program?
He's doing the ASA ALLSTARS stuff.
Okay. He's running himself though.
Yeah. Well, he's been driving for somebody else.
Okay.
So I think he got out of the deal of doing his own racing stuff. But
okay.
Anyway.
And he's an old crew member from
Phoenix Racing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was a crew member because he had to be a crew member to be able to drive because he was driving James Finch's ARCA car and stuff like that. So, but I mean, I could see the nights that we were at Daytona and we were in the condo. We didn't stay in a motel. We stayed in the condo. Finch made sure all his people had a.
Was there a lot of women there?
Not at the condo, but I heard there was.
This wasn't a P. Diddy event.
Not if James Finch is involved.
But
Do you know about James Finch?
I know he's the owner of the team.
He was on our team. He was a billionaire, and
I can't get much of that team anymore.
No,
they're gone.
Well,
Jake Finch is driving this car.
Yeah, which is his son. But either way, he's going to be a driver. He's either going to drive trucks for his dad or he's going to drive a race car for his dad. James, if he had a new girlfriend, and if you look up him on the Dell Jr. download, he's probably bought how many sets of boobs?
I don't. It's so much.
I think it was around 28 or I can't remember if it was like 28 or 50 or something like that, but a lot. And he's like, well, why'd you? He said, well, they were just about the same price as a set of tires back then. but about every new girlfriend got a set of boobs.
Hey,
Now, how old is James?
James is in his mid-60s.
Is Jake his only son that we know of?
I think Jake is the only son, but he's got like 3 daughters.
Oh, that's right. He does have a couple daughters, yeah. And that we know of.
Well,
And
you know, the rule in the infield, when you were in the infield at a NASCAR match, you had to wear long pants and tennis shoes or something like that. You couldn't just wear.
No overtimes, no shorts.
No, you didn't know that. Well, James Finch went to NASCAR and said, we got to stop that.
oh,
So we got to let so the women can now come in their shorts. And then I could tell you some more stories.
Promote the sport.
right.
I could tell you some more stories about the Finch group.
we'll be here all night.
Oh yeah.
My wife had a hard time dealing with that Finch group.
Lee had fun.
Oh, Lee had a blast. I'll never forget. He come in there and took his uniform off and set it up there. And the girl went right in there and took all her clothes off and put his driving suit on and come right back outside. Me and my wife were standing outside. My wife goes, what the hell? Went back up in there and she took it off and was standing around in there with yeah.
Were you allowed to get back in the trailer?
Not that night. That night I didn't. But you know, he was the first one. They bring the truck in and you know, he's saying I can't come to a race and not have something to drink. So he started putting a thing in the back underneath
James.
in the
Allegedly.
lounge. He put it under the seat in the lounge. Nobody went back there and nobody knew it was there. He'd go fix him a drink. He'd walk around with a cup all the time. Nobody said a word.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a little different now. I mean, you can bring alcohol in.
Theoretically.
Well, Junior had
You
something
can't.
in Bristol.
Yeah, well, you can't be working and consuming. But it is much more relaxed now. Hell, me and Jack went to a couple of parties at the racetrack that they do for like sponsors before the race, and they were serving alcohol. And, I mean, it was the who's who of it was there.
Yeah, sure was.
We snuck in there. Anthony said, "Tell Casey." He said hi. He spotted for him at Anthony.
Campy's.
Yeah, a couple times. Anthony, what are you doing? Are you working Martinsville this weekend? I would assume you are.
Hope they got good weather this weekend.
Yeah.
Looking sketchy.
Yeah. You guys going?
I don't think so. I mean, Jack's got a new career, so I don't know if he.
Yeah. Baseball coach.
Yeah.
Coach Dodson.
I know. Apparently, your grandkid don't get no favors either.
No, he don't.
He's not the starting pitcher.
Well, he started. I don't want to get into it.
It's gonna come back to bite him if he does.
I mean,
There was a situation this weekend, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
well, we lost, but we could have hung with them had we not had a bad first inning.
I think it's a coaching issue.
I'm gonna go a little bit and say you might be a little bit right with that. But
He's on it. Baseball players are like race car drivers.
well, see, the bad part about it is when you're kin to one of those baseball players, and you have to make a decision about something. It could be kind of touch and go because my brother, I used to coach my brother, and we were playing a game, and we were pretty close to this other team in the game. They were winning, but we were real close. And my brother said he didn't want to do something. I said, "What do you mean you don't want to do something?" He said, "I don't want to do it, and I'm not going out there and do it this time. You need to find somebody else." I said, "I will when you walk home." And he walked home.
That was that.
Dude, you didn't.
Yeah, he walked home. He walked home, and then mom and dad turned around and sent him back. made him walk all the way back to the ballpark, and he still didn't play. But
Anthony said he's spotting for Lee this weekend.
that's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool to see Lee back in the car. Maybe that's somebody you should have got this week to see how
Well, I try. I try every week to get a hold of somebody like that. I tried to get some drivers from here. Right now, getting drivers from here is kind of hard because a lot of them are not around. They don't want
We should have got some circus acts. I mean, there's some clowns around here. I bet. I mean, I didn't.
An actual clown.
Yeah, right. I mean, I didn't post a little video of I will a little bit. I don't think I posted the archery class out here.
What about the guy pulling them guys behind him all over the field?
Oh yeah. But after we were talking about you, we went out there and showed them the tent kind of going up. They must have had a whole bunch of them on a side by side with a trailer, and they got straps and they're going like this and they're pulling them all around. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well, it looks like Casey Roderick just ditched me again. Imagine that.
You sure he's your friend, Jack?
Well, I thought he was.
His list is getting shorter and shorter.
He and I.
For long, who come here be the only one here? like that. I seen a thing of Trump the other day. They said, "You have a good way of separating friends and business," because Robert Kennedy Jr. What's his name had needed to go somewhere, and he told his wife he wasn't going to pay for all the kids to go. She's like, "All right." He comes back a day or two later. She's like, "I got it figured out. We're going to fly for free." He's like, "Okay, how you do it?" She said, "Trump's going to fly us down there." He said, "I'm suing Trump." She's like, "Yeah." He said he knew and he don't care. So when they asked Trump about it, he's like, "Yeah, well, I wouldn't have many people to talk to about this."
But look, I did not know until this weekend. Right outside of Martinsville, like you're going to Roanoke up 220.
Mm-hmm.
Going up there. There's a little place called Boone's Mill. Well, Boone's Mill's new name is Trump Town.
Oh, really?
That's Trump Town. They got a great big old place in there, and they have signs and all kinds of stuff all through the middle of town. It's nothing but Trump Town. I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty wild. Well, last time he ran, we stopped there. But this time I was reading about it. But then come to find out, the owner of Franklin County Speedway is also the mayor of Trump Town.
Like I say, that's not surprising then.
So he sits around in his Trump shirts and hats and stuff. That's pretty cool.
So, who do you think could be the favorite of this weekend for Martinsville? I mean, Martinsville is such a
Wild card.
Awesome.
it is. I mean, it just seems like. What, do we know what the format is? Oh, speaking of devil.
Said Martinsville.
That's right. What's up, Casey? How you doing, man?
How's it going? Y'all doing all right?
We're doing good. How you doing?
We driving a tractor?
Just working.
Oh, okay.
Just working.
You actually work now?
I work every day, man.
So, are you finding time to do some racing?
Trying to. We got Pensacola coming up this weekend, so trying to get all this work done so I can go play on the weekend.
Okay, well, cool. So tell us how your season's going this year. I know you got a win a couple of weeks ago. So tell us how it's going.
It's going really good. I feel like we've really gone in a good direction to get these cars where I need them to be. We've been struggling at the end of these races to close it out. We've been really strong on our short runs, in practice and qualifying. Just once we get into the races, the car just doesn't stay with me as long as we need it to make it to the end, and stay out front like we did at Glass City. I feel like we made really huge strides in the right right direction for me up there, and I feel like it showed, with our results. We had a very dominant race car up there.
So what does your season look like for the rest? I know you're going to probably go to the snowball and all that again this year. So tell us what all you got left this year.
Well, I've got this weekend at Pensacola. I've got Winchester after that, and then the All-American, and then hopefully the Derby.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Well, when you're one of the best short track drivers around, I mean, you can go and do those things and feel like you got a chance to win those races.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the races coming up. This last Pensacola race, we've been really strong there. And then, of course, Nashville and the Winchester 400 is a race I really want to win. That is an awesome race. I've only run it one time, which was 2 years ago. And I just really enjoy how that place races. And, you're up against the wall in 1 and 2, and sometimes in 3 and 4 too. Later in the race, you can kind of move up a little bit and use that banking up there. So it's just a really cool, unique place. There's nowhere else around like it, and I typically like places like that.
So who are you driving your own? You're not driving your own stuff this year. Who are you driving for?
I'm driving for Miss Mina out of Dayton, Ohio, Team Platinum. I've been with her for the last couple years, but we're running the program through Anthony Campy Racing. So for the last 2 years, I've run under ACR.
Oh, okay. So is the car kept near you where you go to help them work on the car, or is that you have to just?
No, sir. Anthony keeps it in Sarasota, Florida. That's where his shop is, and they run a really good program down there, and that's why we're with them.
Look how things have changed since you and I were hanging out with the Phoenix racing stuff. How things have changed now. You just one of those race car drivers that flies in and drives the car. I like that.
Yeah, that's about the only way I can do it these days. I stay working a lot, and I'm running my own business now. So I've got my dad and my cousin out here in Mississippi working with me now, and just trying to hit the grind. Just trying to make it happen.
What do you do?
I haul chicken litter. We clean out chicken houses, and we haul it to whoever wants to buy it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But we got Anthony Warren said to tell you hi.
Who's this now? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Anthony Warren.
Okay, yeah.
Could you imagine back in the days when you and I were down in Daytona and hanging out with Finch and all that? Could you imagine where you'd be today with racing and stuff?
No, I if you had said I was going to be a chicken litter hauler, I would have said no way. But it's wild how life turns out, and I met Emily at Pensacola. She was a snowball derby queen, and we started dating, and her dad has chicken houses out here and hauls the shavings to the farms that clean out, and he replaces the litter with fresh shavings. So it's kind of how all this started. When I kind of split ways with Ronnie, I didn't have anything going on, so I came out here and helped him work for a little while, and then eventually worked my way into cleaning the chicken houses out, and me and Toby we do that together, and it's worked out really good.
Now hold on a second. I got to ask this question. Your girlfriend, I mean, does she have a sight problem?
Do what now?
Does your girlfriend can she see good?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean,
I don't know what she sees in me, but
she hooked up with you, and she was a queen, snowball derby queen, and everything. That's kind of funny how it ended up with a guy doing a lot of stuff with chicken stuff.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. Sometimes I wonder, how all this worked out, but it's worked out really well, and I'm very thankful for everything that's happened over the last few years. So I've enjoyed it, and it's opened up just like this deal with Miss Mina and Anthony. I there for a few years I struggled trying to stay racing, and I still am. It's not perfect, but I've really had a good time this year with our program, and just doing what we can each week that we race. It's really been fun, and it's allowed me to stay busy at work and try to build this business up. And but I definitely wouldn't be in the position I'm in without Emily and her family. Her dad's helped me out a lot, and then once I got it going, I was able to get my father involved with it, and he's been in the trucking business for a long time, my whole life. And I really enjoyed being out here with him, and creating a lot of good memories.
So, do you see any of the guys from Phoenix in your travels around racing and stuff? Do you see any of them?
Yeah, sometimes I do. It's not a lot, but I do every so often.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of them, and it's been 2 or 3 months ago. I've talked to a couple of them, and we were talking about you, and you were racing with Finch and doing the ARCA stuff and some other stuff with Finch. And I thought that was really cool. I mean, there's a lot of great guys that came out of that organization.
There was, and the one that really comes to mind is, and he's no longer with us, bless his heart, Nick Harrison. He was a huge fan of mine, and yeah, there's multiple people that I can name off that I really hit it off with up there, and really thought a lot of. But the one that really comes to mind is Nick. He believed in me. He believed in me behind the wheel, and I had a lot of good memories with him when I worked up there.
He was a different kind of fellow, but I enjoyed being around him too. It was a lot of fun to be around him.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun, and he had his own way.
Oh yeah.
He and everybody does, but he just he had his own way with everything at the race shop and just life in general, and he lived life, that's for sure. And but I spent a good bit of time with Zach and their whole family over the years since I met them, and I've really I really miss Nick. He's missed by a lot of people, I feel like.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. I've seen that since he passed away. I've seen a lot that a lot of people are still missing him and thinking about him from time to time. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it sure is. And I was able to go to his funeral, and Ronnie went with me back. I was racing for Ronnie at that time, and James was up there, and Sterling, and it was just I don't know. It's kind of one of them deals where you walk in, it's like, man, is this really real?
Yeah.
But no, he's deeply missed, and I wish things weren't the way they are sometimes, but hey, life happens, and we got to move on.
Yep. I tell you what, I enjoyed those days with you guys, hanging out with y'all, and it was a lot of fun to travel up and down the road with Lee and you guys it was fun. I mean, it was very enjoyable. It was like old time racing stuff. I mean, it was really fun.
Yeah, old Lee, he was funny. I always enjoyed being around him as well. I hadn't talked to him in years. It's been a while. He used to text me every so often, and I'd holler back at him a little bit. I don't even know where he's at now. I know he was at Hendrick when Chase first. I think
Well,
it
you
was
want to
his
know?
first Cup season with
You want to know where
Hendrick.
he's at now? You want to know where he's at now?
Where's that?
He's flying airplanes.
No way.
So if you check a flight somewhere, if you walk up in the cockpit and you see him, go on and get off.
Yeah, he man, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's flying for American Airlines, and
Really?
yeah, so
So he's a commercial pilot.
huh?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a commercial pilot.
Well, he's working to get the whole thing still working on that, but he's flying with American Airlines and he's doing the flights and everything. So
Wow. Well, good for him. That's a good job.
Yeah, it pays a lot more than the race car does.
yeah, but hey,
Yeah.
the thing about it is, Casey, his wife wanted him out of racing because he was never home, right? So now
Yeah.
he's an airplane pilot and he ain't never home. So I mean, I don't understand it, but anyway.
Yeah. He'll probably be home a little more, but not, you know, you travel around for sure on both sides of what he's trying to do there.
Yeah. Well, Casey, I appreciate you being with us, man. Thanks for talking to us, and I'm gonna be in touch again with you sometime, and we'll get you back on here and talk some more.
Okay, all right, that sounds great. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Talk to you later, Casey.
See,
All right, see you.
I remember.
what was the boy that did the tires over at Phoenix? So we see running around the kind of
Kyle Lucart.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah. I mean, I guess since COVID, and he did come back after COVID for a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's gone now. He's not even.
Yeah, but he got married or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he got married.
Nice one. See what women do. Me and Jack used to race, but we got married.
I'm not gonna argue with that point, but I'm gonna say this. Okay, I didn't start racing until I was married, so that was.
Me too.
I can't-
Eddie's in the same boat.
No, I was racing before I was married.
Oh, were you?
I managed to keep it going a little bit for a while.
Well, I had to stop when my daughter went to college.
I stopped when my son was born in '89, and then I got an itch again and started racing back in 2001.
It's hard to get away from it.
All right, let's get Riley on here and talk with him for a few minutes.
What's up, Riley? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great, man. Congratulations, Division I Rookie of the Year.
Thank y'all.
That's pretty good deal. I mean, you
Yeah, how cool is that?
Oh, it's definitely cool to not only win the Division I national, but to win the Southeast and win the state too. So
that's cool, man. You knocked it out. Now you were running a bunch of cars towards the end of the year to try to get them points and everything. How did all that work out for you?
it actually ended up working out pretty well for us. Our first adventure with it all was Wake County in Ross Dalton's car, and we ended up having a third place finish. Then we drove to Langley the next day and drove Mark Wirt's car, and we ended up I think 11th there. Which I mean I don't really consider terrible because I mean I feel like that's one of the toughest late model the weekly NASCAR late model divisions around,
Yeah.
other than South Boston. I feel like they go hand in hand, and I mean I feel like an 11th place finish in a car I've never been in and a track I've never seen is pretty decent. So, but like I say, I mean it's all been kind of good for us, and we ended up coming out on top with it all.
So what do you got left to race this year? You got any more races you're gonna run this year?
We do. We're getting ready to go to Martinsville this weekend.
Oh, you're going to Martinsville this weekend.
We are. I'm driving for Craig Moore.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. That's a good deal. So
Yeah.
where all did you race this year in your this season? Where did you race at?
So, trying to make sure I get everywhere. I know. So I run the full season at Bowman Gray Stadium. I raced at Ace twice this year, and I'm probably gonna run there again in a month or so. I raced at Wake County. I raced at Kingsport. I raced at Langley. I raced at Hickory. Um, I think that's it.
So how many of them places did you go to? It was the first time you'd ever been there.
Wake County, Langley, and Kingsport.
So how? Look, we just had Kevin Canter on here, and he said you made an appearance at the Jungle. Ask him what your thoughts are of the Jungle.
Kingsport?
Yeah, you know they call it the Jungle.
Yeah, the concrete jungle. It is it's definitely different. It didn't take us very long to get adapted at all. We were supposed to race Wake County that Friday night with Boo Boo Dalton, and they canceled the race at Wake County at like 1:30 in the day, and we ended up deciding at 2 that we was going to go to Kingsport. So we made the 4-hour drive up there, and qualifying started at 7. We pulled in the gates at 6:50. No practice, no nothing. We bolted tires on, changed the setup, the gear, and the carburetor, and ended up going and qualifying 6 in a 14-car field at a place I'd never seen, a tire I'd never been on, because they run on those Cobra tires up there.
Yep.
And I just think we had a really good showing up there, and we ended up electing to go to the rear in the first race so that we could make an adjustment after qualifying. And we ended up driving through the field. We went up to the front row at one point, and the car just got really bar tight at the end. The bar had way too much load in it, and we ended up finishing 5th in the first race and ended up finishing 3rd in the second race.
So when did you start racing? What got you started, and when did you start?
So my dad obviously raced, but before him, it's my great uncle. He's like my grandpa. Um, and he's been racing for over 30 years, and my dad raced for 15 years. Um, but anyways, my dad raced at Bowman Gray Stadium, won 30 some races, won championships over there. Our family name at Bowman Gray Stadium is pretty big, and like I say, in 2018, my dad bought me a limited late model, and we tested at Ace for about 2 years, and before, like, to when I got comfortable before we decided to actually let me run a race. And once I did run a race, I raced at Ace, Hickory, and Caraway was my first 3 races. It was at the end of the 602 tour season, and I finished ninth in my first ever race. The second one, I finished 5th at Caraway, and then I run the North South Shootout at Hickory, and I ended up running 3rd in like a 15-car field there, my 3rd ever race, and we ended up breaking some stuff, and we finished the race, but I think we finished like 10th. But the following season, it was technically my debut race because it was my first like actual season, and ended up winning that first race. And I won 4 races that year, 3 poles, and won the championship my first full season
Okay.
in
Dang.
2020.
So how old are you?
I'm 16, going on 17 in December.
Nah, you're getting old now, buddy.
Hey, man,
I
hurry up.
know.
Your career's gonna be
I know.
over.
I was 12 when I did all that.
Dang.
So
I started driving late models when I was 10.
Dang.
You wouldn't have been able to tell. You can't tell me nothing now. I can't. 12 years old running late model.
Tell us about racing at Bowman Gray. Now, have we had any incidents at Bowman Gray? I mean, it seems like everybody, you can't race at Bowman Gray and not have an incident somewhere along the line.
Yeah. So Bowman Gray is a different animal. It really is, and you got to be a different breed to run there. I feel like a lot of the late model guys would never understand that until they actually do it. Bowman Gray is one of the easiest, but one of the hardest places to get around.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the Clash going over there, I feel like a lot of those Cup drivers are getting ready to figure out what that place is about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as much of the racing that it is the hype, the fans, the tension from the week before, because it's 17 weeks straight. And if you run up front, you're obviously going to be into it with somebody at some point in the year. That's just the way that life goes.
Well, I want to see these. I want to see these cup drivers when they go down to Bowman Gray. I want to see them do some of that sliding through the grass and chasing people with the car. And I want to see all that happen. I think that'd be cool.
It would be cool, but when they start handing out $50,000 fines, that's the part that ain't cool.
Now there was a guy this year at Bowman Gray. I think it was just a couple weeks towards the end. You know, he had a little fun out there trying to go through the fence and everything out there. I mean, that's some things that just goes on down there normal.
Which incident was this?
I forget what the guy's name was.
That the one that left his car on the
Left his car on the start finish line and tried to go up on the.
He was a big boy too.
Yeah. He's like,
so let me stop you there. I don't know if you know this. That's my great uncle.
no, I did not know that.
It's Tommy NEAL.
Tommy NEAL, that's exactly right. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
that's it.
Yeah, red 21 car.
So
I mean, he was a big boy to be in a race car.
Did you
Oh,
race
he is. He's a solid 350.
You being nice. Because he's a big
Yeah.
boy.
Hey, Riley, do you race against him?
I did. I used to run Sportsman against him, and he didn't really like it because he knows I'm better than he is. But
Now wait a minute. Now all of you on the family, y'all all talk trash to each other.
oh yeah. But something I'll share with you that's pretty cool. I am the youngest winner at Bowman Gray Stadium in 75 years. But my first season at Bowman Gray, it was the second week of the year. I won my first race, and my pawpaw was actually behind me when I won it. He finished second.
No, wait a minute. How many family members are racing at Bowman Gray?
Right now, just me and him.
Okay.
But over the years, my dad's raced over there, Kevin. He's won a sportsman championship. My pawpaw's won 3 sportsman championships. My pawpaw's won 55, 60 races over there. My dad's won probably 25, 30. Like I say, our family name in the sportsman division is pretty big.
Now wait a minute. Did you pass Paul clean?
I started on the pole.
Oh, so you didn't have to pass him.
I didn't have to pass him. But there has been many times when I moved him and I've passed him clean.
You moved him but passed him clean.
Now
I've done both.
Look, next week we need to have him.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him this week and see if I can get him on the show.
That's
So
what
look,
you need to do.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and we ask this question a lot. We're coming down to the finish of the race.
Okay.
Let's say you're one turn away from
White flag.
white flag, whatever. Would you dump him to get by him?
Almost done.
Would you dump him? I mean,
So
we're not
actually,
dumping now.
if we're talking about my pawpaw or anybody in this scenario, it doesn't really matter who. No,
Oh.
I'm not. If I'm coming to the white, I'm not, because obviously if I can get there, I'm better. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna get a good run off of 2, and I'm gonna carry him off into 3 and 4. And wash him up about 2 grooves and turn under him and drive by him.
That's what we're talking about.
But if, let's just say I get under him in 1 and 2, then obviously, and I'm going to drag the brake so he can't get in behind me and be able to do anything in 3 and 4. I'm going to drag the brake and let him have a nose all the way down the backstretch. And then I'm just going to let go of the wheel in the middle of the corner and run him up about 3 grooves, turn left, and win the race.
Who told you how to do these tricks? If somebody told you.
There's been a lot of people to tell me over the last 6 years how to do this. Bobby McCarty's one of the ones that taught me.
Oh, Bobby did? Oh, look, yeah. Well, that's definitely one you can get some advice from. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Look,
for sure.
You keep saying going up, and Ed Clark's here with us, and he said he didn't believe there was 3 grooves at Bowman Gray.
Yeah, to move somebody up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can make them. It's easy to do, trust me. Just go back and watch some of my old videos from when I've won over there. There's been a many of them I've picked them up in the middle and toted them all the way.
You know, I was told a long time ago that's the catch and release program. You catch them on
It
the
is.
straightaway and then you release them down in the middle of the corner.
It is. You're exactly right.
So,
Well,
Robbie, I
like
tell
you say,
what,
everybody knows you got to race that way over there. So you do it to them, they're going to do it back to you. A lot of times I'm not as mad about it because I can drive it out, but then they get mad about it when they can't drive it out.
Well, I can't wait to hear the pawpaw side of these stories.
So what's Papa's name so I can get a hold of him this week?
Tiger Tommy Neal, you want his phone number? 336-462-6228.
All right, hey, look, you wait way too fast here. Go ahead.
336
All right.
462
Uh-huh.
6228.
All right. I'm gonna get in touch with him and get him on the show this week. I'm gonna hear his side of the story.
Yeah, he'd probably do it.
And
Are you gonna have to help him get his phone right so he can get on?
No, he's got his fiance to do that for him.
oh, okay.
Yeah. How old is he now?
Well, it's we'll just leave that alone. He's 53. He'll be 54 October the 21st.
Younger than I am.
But he's also got a 2-year-old kid.
Oh well, now we're not gonna get into all that.
Yeah, that's what.
Joe Huff. Yeah. I'm sorry, old Joe Huff. What was he? 80.
He was in his 80s and
And he had a 6-year-old
yeah.
son and his a 30-year-old Asian wife.
Yep.
A 40-year-old, I think she was.
Well, Robbie, man, I appreciate you talking to us tonight. Tell us a little bit of who else sponsors you and everything, and who helps you out with the car.
Of course. So first of all, I just want to give the biggest shout out to my parents for everything that they do for me. They're the main ones behind the scene, and my crew chief Adam Eaton, all my crew guys, Caden, Mike, Phillip, Jake, everybody that's involved. Of course, Garage Doors of the Triad LLC, Gossett's Landscape Nursery, Walkertown Auto Sales, Walkertown Pawn and Gun, Breakfast Time, Sykes Metal Roofing, Chandler Home Improvement, Low Rents, the Phoenix Company, Walkertown Meal, MJ Printing and Graphics, just Lindley Plumbing Company. Everybody that chips in is greatly appreciated with all of my stuff. And like I say, hopefully we can go have a good weekend, make the show, and give a good showing at Martinsville this weekend.
Well, good luck to
I
you.
think he's been to the sponsors a few times.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck to you. I hope you have a good race down at
And
Martinsville.
believe me, we're gonna get Pawpaw wound up.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on the show next week, so you be sure to watch.
Yeah, you
I
probably
will. I'm gonna be ready. Make sure to ask him who's better, me or him.
Oh, we are.
I want to hear that. I want to hear what he tells me versus what he tells y'all.
It's still gonna be rough.
All
Because
right,
there's
Robbie.
probably gonna be a phone call made, and I'm gonna let him have it. So
Well, I'm gonna send you a link when I send him a link. I'm gonna send you one too. So if you want to get on here and dispute anything he's got to say.
okay,
All right.
yeah, that'll work. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too, Robbie. Thanks a lot, man.
Take care, man.
See ya.
I can't wait to get Pawpaw on here.
Oh,
That's
man.
gonna be it.
I didn't know he was the one that.
I didn't either.
That's hilarious.
Have you
He knew
seen
right
it?
away.
Oh yeah, yeah. Did you see it? He's a big boy now.
I'm kind of glad I didn't go any further.
So what do you do? You climbed up in the flag stand?
No.
No, he wasn't. Man, you have to look at it. He's a big boy. He gets out of the car and he leaves the car on the front stretch. He's gonna try to go up to the race director. He's raising Cain, and cops come over there and they stop him and stuff.
There's an opening in the opening right there in the fence. But he was trying to get up there, but hit the car a lot. They had the car in there. He was trying to get up there and he was hollering and going in the. I said, Lord have mercy. And then I started talking about it tonight and calm down. I'm talking to his kinfolk. That's not cool at all.
Oh,
Well,
man.
great, you got a 50-50 shot anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
You got that right.
I expected Pawpaw to be older though.
I did too, man. I mean,
I'm thinking he's 16. If Pawpaw can't be that, so
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, he said this was great uncle, right? They call Papa.
No, he's like his papa, he said.
Okay.
But this is,
I thought he said he called me Papa.
this is the, no.
But it still was great uncle.
Yeah, his name is Tiger Pete,
Tiger Tommy.
that's it, Tommy Neal.
Why do they call him Tiger? I'm gonna ask him that.
Why do a lot of people at Bowman Gray get nicknames that they do?
Well, that'll be the question you can ask.
we'll ask him next week.
I
Where
mean,
did Tiger come from?
a lot of these guys from Bowman Gray,
I didn't see you on the box of the cereal. There you go.
anyway. All right, well, that's our show for tonight. Want to thank Casey Roderick for being with us, Kevin Canter, Riley Neal. That was kind of highlight thing.
I'm
there.
just waiting for everybody else to play it back and get Papa's phone number and call him.
Yeah. Give Tiger a call, guys. He's gonna get a bunch. He's gonna get
Tell him we sent you.
Tell him Riley sent you. He's gonna be looking at his phone.
Oh,
Come get my number.
yeah. She's got a fiance. She'll take it.
There you go.
It's kind of weird. He says he's got a son 2 years old.
Put his whole business in the street, man.
And like you said, Joe Huss popped into my head real quick.
Yeah, when Joe was telling us he had a wife, she's 40. I'm like, what? They got a son and a daughter, right? He have 2 kids?
Yeah, but the son was the youngest one.
Yeah, he was like 3 or 4, and the daughter was like 5 or 6, and he was 82 or so at the time.
And he was something else. Ain't no doubt about that. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please like and share our show, and we will see you. It's got a question on there for you.
I heard how many Langley. I don't know if anybody's going.
Works is going.
Mark is going.
Oh, Mark is
I
going?
think Ryan's probably going. Ryan Matthews.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan is going.
Brian Matthews.
Riley or Cody?
I know Riley's not going because he posted earlier
Yeah,
today.
he's gonna
that
try. He wants to be a pit on somebody's pit crew.
he wants to be a pit lizard.
Me too, man.
Y'all done made me. Y'all done forget what I was trying to talk. What I was trying to think of. Oh, Justin Carroll's going.
Okay.
Oh, just okay.
That's about what, 4? Oh, Craig's going. Yeah, Craig Eastep.
Yep, Craig East.
Wow.
Oh, is he really? Okay.
Yeah, he told me that was his next race when he blew right front.
That's cool. All right, we'll see you again next Tuesday night. We'll probably have Tiger Tommy with us next week if I can get a hold of him.
Come up with your questions.
Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Thank you.